Today on the show, we have the organizers of said festival. Jess Bowman and Tim Parks are with us. Jess and Tim, how's it going? Thanks for coming to the show.
Going good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm tickled pink to have y'all on the show, and I'm really excited for Labor Day weekend this year. I'm going to be doing something other than sitting around on my ass. I'm going to come down and watch some music, which is going to be fun. So there you go.
Get your steps in.
I will get my steps in.
Get your steps in here for sure.
So August 28th through the 30th, I think that's Thursday through Saturday, Labor Day weekend, downtown Manchester, Kentucky. The lineup includes, as we mentioned, Brent, Cobb, Nicholas Jamerson and the Morning Jays. We just had Nick on the show last episode. Taylor Hunnicut will be there as well. The Creekers, Rob Ix and Trey Hensley, Hollerhead, Abe Partridge. Oh, and just some dude named Bill Taylor. I'm pretty sure you guys were doing cartwheels last week, weren't you, when he appeared on America's Got Talent?
He is a good friend of mine, him and his wife. And like, when I tell you that I wept, because I cannot imagine that happening to a better guy. Not only a talented guy, but like, he's a salt of the earth human. So I'm tickled.
Yeah, I didn't. I was going to Lake Cumberland, and my son I had it on YouTube TV, so we pulled over to watch it, and then I managed the Creekers. So this week he came over to the lake and got on stage with the Creekers. And it's like Eastern Kentucky takeover where people were waiting in line to see them for over an hour Saturday night. And then we had just been to WME the day before. And I don't know, man, it's like, it's powerful. And, being with Sunday Best all these years, like doing the road management and being like friends. I know you had Nicholas last week or whenever, but it's crazy to see like what they kicked the door down for now these folks to be able to do. It took a long time, but there wouldn't be a Tyler or Bill or Creekers or anybody if it wasn't for Nicholas and Christopher at Sunday Best. They kicked that thing down. And at the western part of the state, you could kind of say Chris Knight did that a long time ago too. So, yeah, so we're all blessed, man. Bill's a great guy. I went a little too long with all that with Eastern Kentucky love, but, that's how we feel for him. And it's like now people's buying VIPs that me and Jess just looked at because the Creekers and Bill Taylor, we had them booked before they went viral. And then Anna Blanton, that's actually from New Albany, Indiana. She's the only Yankee in the bunch, but she's our Yankee.
Yeah, exactly.
The boys always say, well, she used to say fire. Now she says far.
Far.
But she went viral twice in less than 2 weeks, man. It's crazy. So good for her.
Well, you don't have to make any apologies for being a champion of Eastern Kentucky or Kentuckians. Our audience is used to it because I'm from Pikeville, and I love, bragging about our fellow Kentuckians left and right and highlight them on the show, probably more than I should. Fortunately, Francesca, who unfortunately can't be with us tonight for the interview, she's from Chicago, so she balances it out. But we love our Kentucky artists here on Roots Music Rambler. You tapped into it a little bit, but explain a little bit more about what this does. Somebody blowing up like Bill on America's Got Talent a couple of months before an event like this, what does that do to the event? How have things changed in the last couple of weeks for you guys?
You want to take it?
I'm going to let you have it.
Well, it's happened to us a little bit before. Like 2018 was our first year. And I'll go back to the start. This thing started with a group of friends that just was at the maybe the Harvest Moon Fest in Somerset. So it wasn't even at Masters, which we've all been to numerous times. Shout out to Masters. It's coming up quick. Me and some friends were having some beers thinking, man, it would be cool if we could do this. We were watching Chris Knight there that night, actually. And we had a new tourism board before I was even tourism director, before there was even a board. There was a board there for a week. We were one of the first people that asked for any kind of funding to do something as this, and they kind of laughed at us. But then, they did laugh at us. But they did tell me, I sent the next month. I sent in a proposal, and they said you've got like a week to get this together. So like to try to book people, and I had no earthly effing idea how to book anybody. Like I'm talking about even a regional person, right?
Yeah.
But our first big get was a group called Whiskey Myers, and Whiskey Myers, we got them as a headliner for $8,000. And so as this came out, I remember putting the flyer out. Jess is like the best graphic designer in the state, in my opinion, and so she made. I don't even know if she made she come in later because we had a terrible flyer at first that Mario did.
Oh yeah, it was horrendous.
It was before AI. It
was horrendous. You couldn't even read it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you've ever been to Pat's, but one night I was over there, and Tim and I actually went to grade school together. Like I've known him longer than
since we were shit and green.
Yes. I had seen the flyer, And I basically just looked at him and I was like, "You need me." Didn't I?
Well, but she came to the tourism meeting.
I did.
For some other reason, because she had a business downtown, and
I did.
And then we all ended up at Pass. It's kind of like the place to go have a beer after a meeting like that, talking to people that are not like us. So you kind of have to de-stress, go have a beer, talk about it. So then we added Jess, like she was one of the first members. We just have, out of that first 4 that started it, there's just 2 of us left. Jess is one of the founding members. But long story short, by the time Whiskey Myers got here, they'd been on a show called Yellowstone. And they were making like 30 and 40K a show, but here they were making 8K.
Yeah.
And they was already in the contract. So we went from having that flyer putting Whiskey Myers at the top where people's like, who the hell's this? We don't know them, to like being on Yellowstone and they're like, you're brilliant.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So I always tell people, like, I've been really lucky. And I give some credit if she's ever listened. There's a lady named Tammy Weaver. We was working for the section office at the State Highway Department. That was my former job before this. And she's like, Tim, you really ought to look at Whiskey Myers. And I knew a woman. I'm like, hell, who in Clay County knows Whiskey Myers? So it's kind of like the perfect storm. So that happened. Red Clay Strays opened up for Sunday Best here 2 years ago.
My Lord.
$6,000. I just watched them at Renfro Valley's the old barn in front of 40 people. And my board was like, there's nobody showing up and I was like, listen, trust me.
Just trust.
This is because the guy was like Elvis and Waylon Jennings. And it's like, you either be like, I tell people that hit me up, all 2,000 people a year that wants a show or wants help. I'm like, you either be the best at what you do or you be different. If you can be both, my God, you got a shot.
Yep.
And this guy was both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like we're seeing with the Creekers, with Bill, separate days. It's cool that we have them both, and it's cool that they're both Eastern Kentucky people instead of being from Texas or Alabama. It's like we've got our local Eastern Kentucky people.
They're our people, family to us. Like,
yeah, it's going to be a homecoming,
it's
sort of.
Real. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I mean, when serendipity happens like that, and you wind up, you call it luck. Some people would call it fate. The stars are aligning, and the universe is right for Manchester and for Manchester Music Fest, which is awesome. And I'm super excited. I would have come just to see Brent Cobb. You could have just had him in concert and you'd have had me sold. And now looking at the rest of the lineup, I'm like, holy crap, I'm going to see a bunch of people I haven't seen, a few people I've seen a couple times, and certainly a lot of Kentucky acts that I haven't been able to catch yet. So I'm super excited about coming.